It's true for me and it has transformed everything that I am because it's true for me. Everything that I ever was changed simply because I touched this dimension within me. I don't wish to work equations for that. And anyway, Nobel Prize wouldn't mean anything to me, I would be too embarrassed by such things. So, this story, because I will make it so brief, there could be holes in it. If I make it elaborate enough, there'll be no holes in the story, it's a perfect theory. And we have proved it within ourselves that it is true. But you want to build a $10 billion instrument under the ground to prove the same thing, it's up to you. This can be experientially proved within yourself if you are willing to go into the depths of what this is. Because this is made exactly the same way the whole universe is made. If you go deep enough into this and you know how this is made, by inference you know how everything in the universe is made. By inference. And even now, science is also only inferring. Today modern science has admitted that it's an ever-expanding universe or an endless universe. Rather, ever-expanding is a yogic term, they are calling it an endless universe. If it's an endless universe, trying to travel across the universe and find out the nature of the universe is untenable, isn't it? Simply out of question. The only way you could know the nature of the universe, nature of the creation and the source of creation is by going inward, because whatever you ate in the morning, whether it's a idli or a dosa or a banana, has been transformed into a human being in the last few hours. Nobody else can do this except the source of creation. So if the source of creation is right here, if you want to know anything about creation, isn't it the best place to consult? If you want to know anything about creation, isn't the source of creation the best place to consult? And if you had to go to heaven for this, you could give it up. If it is right here, why don't you consult? Simply because you're too enamored by your own thought. You think you are going to capture the whole universe with your thoughts. It is a foolish way to approach. The only reason why science has survived is because of technology. It keeps throwing out technologies. If no technologies were coming out of science, they were just talking about all the things that they have been talking, people would have beaten them down for the money that they spent. And it's happened in the past, when there were no technologies and people just spoke science, they were beaten down, isn't it? So, science has its value in terms of utility, but science cannot open up the existence for human experience. It will not, it can never do it because they are going with intellect. Intellect as an instrument works only to dissect. The only way intellect can approach anything is to break it up and see. If you ask a scientist to find out something about this flower, first thing is he will break it up into pieces. I think I should ask a scientist to make me understand one of you. He will talk about dissecting you then. If you break this up, you may know many parts of this. You may know the structure of it, you may know the chemistry of it, but you will not know the beauty of it. You will not know the completeness of it, because the flower is an expression of a plant finding its fulfillment. It is the highest thing for the plant. For its life, this is the highest happening. it's the flowering of that life, you will not know that. You will not see the hand of the Creator in this if you break it up. But as a whole, if you are willing to pay attention, absolute attention, if in your approach you make this flower more important than yourself and keep your focus on it, you will see the whole universe in this. If you break it up, you will have petals, you will have other parts of the flower, and you will come to vulgar conclusions, and then you will learn how to make use of it. So right now, unfortunately, our approach, what we call as science, has become like this: how to use everything in the universe for our benefit. If you see a tree, in America they call it wood. This happened when when I was in college. This happened about 4 years ago when I was in Mysore. For the first time, I conducted a program after many years. And all kinds of people turned up. My teachers from school and college turned up. They wanted to see what has happened to me. So after I spoke there and we had 2-day event, and then my English teacher came and hugged me and she said, "Now I know why you wouldn't let me teach Robert Frost." I said, "Why, ma'am, why would I not let you teach Robert Frost? I like Frost." She said, "No, do you remember? You wouldn't let me teach Frost." Then I remembered. One day she came and she opened the book and she introduced Robert Frost as a glorious poet, and then she started off. "Woods are lovely, dark and deep." I said, "Stop." I said, "A man who calls a tree a wood, I don't want to listen to him." She said, "No, Robert Frost is a great poet." I said, "I don't care how great he is. A man who calls a tree a wood, I will not listen to him." I didn't let her teach. I didn't let her teach Frost. So after many years, she comes up to me and she says, "Now I know why you wouldn't let." So, if a tiger comes here now, from the mountains, I mean, if you come from Sri Lanka, that's different. If a tiger comes down from the mountain, looks at you, he will think, "Wow, dinner." So you look at a tree and you think, "Wood." It's all right for a tiger to do that, because that's all he knows. But it's not all right for you to do that, isn't it? But right now, that is all science has become. Anything we see, how to make use of it. Anything we see, how to make use of it. Even an invisible atom, we won't leave. Even the goddamn boson. Already people are talking about in how many ways it could be used. We could make a boson bomb.